Did you know that the gap between the wealthy and the less fortunate has been widening in recent years? The wealthy are accumulating more wealth, while the disadvantaged struggle to afford basic necessities, like food and housing. Often the wealthy and the less fortunate have different approaches and perspectives on the world. Let's explore 7 behaviors that the less fortunate adopt differently compared to the wealthy. Before we proceed, click like on the video and comment, "I will get rich." When I see your comment, I'll react with a heart because I believe your prosperity is near. Let's go. First, the less fortunate spend a lot of time consuming media, sometimes as an escape from reality. A major difference in the daily lives of the wealthy and the less fortunate is how they use their time. Those facing financial hardships may spend hours on unproductive activities, like browsing social media or watching television for long periods. While most indulge in passive entertainment, the wealthy strive to be active agents, seeking to appear on television instead of just watching it. While many only consume content, the more fortunate dedicate their time to producing it. Although engaging in celebrity dramas or online gossip may be temporarily fun, it doesn't contribute to your long-term growth. It only enriches media companies. Not all media is harmful. Some can be educational or make your life easier. It's completely acceptable to watch shows on YouTube or online content to relax and shut off from everything. But if you find yourself constantly glued to the screen, it may indicate dissatisfaction with your life, using TV or YouTube as an escape valve. When you spend too much time on activities like watching TV or browsing social media, it can become a problem if it prevents you from evolving as a person or understanding the causes of your unhappiness. Rich and successful people tend to focus on improving skills, achieving goals, and solving problems before relaxing and having fun. If time permits, they may allow themselves some entertainment. As mentioned, there's nothing wrong with enjoying occasional entertainment, but for them, it's just a source of fun and not an escape from reality. How many hours per week do you spend watching TV, YouTube, or browsing social media compared to the time dedicated to working on your goals? Second, the less fortunate spend their time consuming, while the wealthy spend their time creating. Money plays a distinct role for the wealthy and the less fortunate. The wealthy usually use their money to expand their fortune, while the less fortunate use money to survive. Reflect on this. People with few resources need to work to make a living and acquire items that others have created. Those with fewer resources may strive to buy desired items like new sneakers, a high-definition TV, car upgrades, or trips, but they don't have much time to start their own business or create products for others. On the other hand, the wealthy tend to spend most of their time creating products or experiences that others will enjoy. Think about it. Actors produce the shows you watch. YouTubers create the videos you enjoy, and entrepreneurs develop products people want to buy. They invest a lot of time in this. While the less fortunate often adopt a consumer mindset, the wealthy cultivate a creator mindset. The motivating aspect of this is that most people have the potential to become creators. So ask yourself, what can you create right now? Third, the less fortunate spend a lot of time to save little money, while the wealthy focus on higher value tasks. People with fewer resources may dedicate a lot of time trying to save small amounts of money. Saving is definitely positive, but think about this. Have you ever seen someone spend the whole day, like 7 or 8 hours, just to save a modest amount at the supermarket? That equates to a negligible value per hour. They could simply use that amount and shop in an hour and then dedicate the remaining hours to something that could generate more money in the long run. Some people spend a lot of time cutting their own grass to save a minimal amount, but they could simply pay a teenager to do it. However, they fail to realize that this time could be better used on more valuable tasks. People with fewer resources may spend a lot of time on activities that don't yield much for them. On the other hand, the wealthy are more likely to pay someone to do these tasks or spend more money to save time. This frees them up to focus on activities that will yield more money in the long run. The wealthy often say, "Why do low-value work per hour when you could spend your time on something that pays much more per hour?" This shows why it's important to use your time wisely. The wealthy know their time is valuable and only dedicate themselves to tasks that will bring them a significant return for the time invested. In fact, while money can be replaced, time cannot. For the wealthy, time has a much higher value than money. Fourth, the less fortunate tend to hoard money and let it stagnate, while the wealthy invest. To clarify, saving is still positive. It's always prudent to set aside a portion of your capital. However, the key difference lies in how people perceive and use their savings. Many accumulate money for future expenses, or simply let the amount sit idle in an account. Capital that sits idle loses value over time. Imagine you inherit $1,000,000 from a distant relative you barely knew. Initially, you may rejoice at the substantial amount. However, there's a condition: you can't use it, you must save it all. With this limitation, does the money really have value for you? Probably not, as it serves no purpose and doesn't contribute to increasing your wealth. Hoarding money without a purpose and letting it stagnate in an account doesn't create value. Moreover, with inflation, idle money loses value over time. So what's the strategy of the wealthy? They make money work for them and give capital a purpose. This concept reflects the idea of making money operate in your favor. While saving is beneficial, investing wisely is even better. Many may argue, "I don't want to risk losing my money." That's why I assert that the best investment you can make is in yourself. Investing in education to gain financial knowledge is the most beneficial investment with the greatest return. I want to emphasize that I'm entirely in favor of saving money, and everyone should prioritize it. Fifth, most rely on a single source of income, while the rich have multiple. Most sustain themselves through a single means, usually a job, while the rich have various sources of income. This distinction between the rich and poor is striking. Most worry intensely about losing their job because it's where all their livelihood comes from. They fear because if they lose the job, they won't have any more income. However, by developing multiple sources of income, people can reduce that stress. If one way of making money fails, having other options means you can still maintain a cash flow. This helps you face tough times and recover financially more easily. Consequently, this diversity of income sources can allow you to relax more about financial concerns. So, what steps can you take to develop additional sources of income? Sixth, the less fortunate use credit to acquire items, while the wealthy use it to leverage large assets. One issue that many do not consider is how the wealthy and the poor employ credit in distinct ways. The less fortunate often fear credit cards because they worry about getting into debt. On the other hand, the wealthy actively seek more credit as they see it as a leverage tool. The less fortunate may use credit cards to acquire unnecessary items, even if they can't afford them. The wealthy, in turn, use credit cards or specific loans to acquire and leverage large assets. For example, they may buy a property with a 10% down payment and finance the other 90%. Thus, they leverage a 300,000 reais asset by initially investing only 30,000 reais. This practice is the foundation of the concept of using other people's money. Seventh, most plan to retire at 65, while the wealthy aim for financial independence as soon as possible. The less wealthy may dream of the day they will retire. The wealthy aspire to financial independence, which means they no longer need to work, and their money keeps growing. Many imagine working 40 or 45 years in a stable job and hope for a comfortable retirement at 65. Unfortunately, this dream doesn't always come true. The wealthy, however, do not focus on retirement. Instead, they seek financial independence. Their goal is to accumulate enough assets to sustain their lifestyle without needing to work. This way, they can enjoy a retirement life sooner or dedicate their time to accumulating more assets. Have you reflected on the discrepancies between wealthy and disadvantaged individuals concerning finances? Often, this is due to the norms they follow. The wealthy adopt certain financial principles that the less fortunate often do not know or practice. Let's explore 5 fundamental rules that almost all wealthy and successful people employ to achieve success and how you can implement them in your life. First, don't apologize for aspiring to wealth. Many of us were taught to feel uncomfortable discussing money or aspiring to wealth. But honestly, what's wrong with desiring financial success? If most people spend their lives working for money, why not aim for more? The wealthy don't hide their desire for prosperity and success. They are clear about their goals and pursue them without guilt. Second, value self-promotion. A notable distinction between the wealthy and the common is how they view self-promotion and marketing. While many feel uncomfortable talking about themselves and what they can offer, the rich and successful take pride in presenting their ideas and selling them. Imagine having something revolutionary that could change the world or improve people's lives, like an innovation, new technology, art, making people smile, being exceptional at something, or having inspiring life stories. Each of us possesses skills and experiences that can profoundly impact others. However, it is those who actively promote themselves, their ideas and products who truly leave a mark. Third, the rich make decisions quickly and change them slowly. Have you ever found yourself in such a situation? Imagine you're at a diner, waiting in line, and it's taking a long time to be served. After 10 minutes, the person in front of you still hasn't decided what to order. A big difference between the truly successful and most people is how they make decisions. In general, most hesitate when considering their choices and change their minds easily. Many struggle with indecision and uncertainty, making it difficult to stick with a choice for long. On the other hand, the wealthy and successful usually decide quickly and firmly and stick with those choices with determination. While many have countless ideas for making a difference in society, in business, or in personal projects, they often hesitate to decide which ones to focus on, meaning they waste a lot of time thinking about it. Even when they finally opt for a project, they quickly become discouraged and start thinking about changing their minds again. In contrast, successful people quickly choose an option that seems right or more viable and persist until it works or until adjustments are needed. Fourth, imperfect action. You had a brilliant business idea or a new project and decided that this is the one you're going to pursue. But despite this decision, you still haven't acted. You keep refining the execution details, but months or even years have already passed. You've read books, taken courses, planned everything meticulously in your mind, but you still haven't started. You see, most people get stuck in the planning phase. They get excited about an idea, dive into research and planning, but end up feeling overwhelmed by all the options and information, and sadly, their idea never materializes. Many successful people act immediately, even if they don't feel fully prepared. A lesson we can learn from them is that it's generally better to start and make adjustments along the way rather than wait for a perfect plan. Think about this. If Steve Jobs had waited for everything to be perfect before launching the iPhone, we might not have it today. They launched the initial iPhone, evaluated how it performed, and then improved it with each new version, always working to make it better. When you start something new, like a project, business, or habit, what actually happens is often different from what you initially imagined. This means the perfect plan you had may no longer be useful. It's more effective to start, make mistakes, fix them, and adjust your approach than to get stuck in endless planning. Thinking this way is crucial to avoid the trap of perfection. Here are some ways to do this. First, commit fully to achieving your goal. Stay firm in what you want to achieve, but be open to changing how you'll get there. Don't get too caught up in following the plan exactly. Focus more on what you want to accomplish in the end. Accept feedback to refine your process and drive your growth. Remember the advice of Reid Hoffman: if you are not embarrassed by the first version of your product, you've launched too late. So, what can you do this week to start your next project? Fifth, prioritize your well-being. A common trait among all successful and wealthy people is that their success and wealth emanate from who they are as individuals. It's like the fable of the goose that laid the golden eggs. If you don't take care of the goose, you won't have more golden eggs. You are the source of your own success, and if you don't take care of yourself, it can negatively affect your life. Most successful people focus on caring for three crucial aspects of life. 1. Physical health. Being healthy and fit is vital for everyone. Without good health, your efficiency is compromised. Even great success and wealth mean nothing if you don't have the energy to enjoy them. 2. Personal development. If you observe, you'll see that almost all successful and wealthy people dedicate time to improving different aspects of their lives. They're always learning new things that help them both at work and in their personal lives. They understand that it's essential to keep trying to improve, always aiming to become better people. 3. Emotional maturity. Although often neglected, high achievers are humans with emotions, insecurities, and vulnerabilities. They prioritize cultivating their mindset and emotional well-being. They know that confidence can be practiced and that emotional well-being is fundamental to true success and happiness. If you don't take care of your emotions, you can't really create a life that is successful and fulfilling. I hope today's video was informative and helpful for you. If you found it valuable, please leave a like. I value your feedback, so feel free to share your thoughts in the comments section below. Lastly, remember to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future videos. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next one.